So I decided I was going to do this basic butterfly drawing, which is not as basic as the typical butterfly that we draw that's symmetrical. Many of you are familiar with that kind of butterfly. I'm just going to grab a crayon because I don't know if the ink shows up there. So we draw the head, we draw its body, and then we do the bumpy line wings and the little swirly lines for the antennae, and then you colored it and you decorate it. So let's bring it up closer to the camera so you can see what I'm talking about. And as I'm thinking through my series of how to draw bugs, I figured this would be a great introduction, and I'm going to share it as a free resource here. So we're going to start drawing this beautiful butterfly, and to start we are going to use our fingers as a guide. So I have two fingers here, and I'm going to position them right like in the center, diagonal, and that's how I'm going to start to draw its wing. So here we go. I draw a curve down to my knuckle, and I am using a light pencil. You can draw lightly with a number 2 pencil. This is in essence a number 2 pencil. It's H. It's very similar. And then I'm going to continue using my two fingers, and I'm going to turn the paper so that I can go into the crevice of my hand here, where my fingers meet my hand, to draw the wing. That gives me an idea of size, and that allows me to fill the space. So this is too far down. I'm going to curve it this way. Okay, so again, my two fingers to my knuckle, and then I draw on the other side to the crevice of my hand, where my fingers meet my hand, but then I realized it's too far, so in essence to your knuckle, and there it is. Alright, now I'm going to draw the bottom portion of the butterfly's set of wings here. So if I find the middle here, right there, I'm going to start there, and I'm going to make a huge curve, and that's where this is going to come out and then in. Curve this in. Done. And now we're going to draw its head in here. So there's the center, and there's that the end of that wing. So I'm going to find the middle there, and that is where I'm going to draw its head. So dividing up the shapes that we have helps to space out and figure out where everything else is going. And then we have the midsection of the butterfly and the rear end. Okay. And then I'm going to puff out its face a little here. And now I'm going to draw in its eye. There we are. And just in case you can't see what I did there, the wings are attached to the center portion of the butterfly, and then we have the back end. I gave it an eye, puffed out its face, and its legs. They, you know what, I don't like that leg going that way, so I'm going to grab my eraser here, because it can stay because it's on the other side, and that's fine, but I want the ones on the, the legs on this side to go this way. There we go. And they're on the center section as well. And they are simply straight lines that are bent, And now we're going to draw the antennae, curve it back, double it up, curve and down, curve and down. Give it a smile, make it happy. And now we're going to draw the back wing. And remember how this was divided up? There's the center part right here. That's where I'm going to draw the back wing. And then it's just going to come down to its head. There it is. And next we are going to define the designs inside of it. I'm going to simply add a little wiggle line close to the edge of the wing, and another little wiggle line close to the edge of the wing, And then we're going to come down. And some wiggly lines. It's like a border. And then I was thinking about different butterflies and how their wings are. And I decided I'm going to divide this up with these curving lines. And then the curving lines in here. I'm thinking of, I want to say it's a yellow-tailed tiger butterfly. I know I'm saying that wrong, but they have this black band in there. I've seen them around my butterfly bushes in the past. Okay. And just some additional organic shapes. Now, butterfly is organic, it's from nature. And when we are drawing things from nature, we can use geometric shapes to help build them. But overall, in the end, the overall shape of the butterfly has wiggle, wavy, bumpy lines. Therefore, it is organic. And it's from nature, so it grows. And we have some of these raindroppy shapes in here. And before we know it, our butterfly is drawn. Now I'm going to get my Sharpie or a permanent marker, and I am going to trace over all the lines I wish to keep. Happy butterfly. It is not arranged to be symmetrical, meaning it's the same on both sides. It's actually asymmetrical because both its wings are positioned backwards as it's flying. And I did not fatten up its legs. I made them look rather fragile. I think that's looking best for the size of this butterfly. And we trace all lines we wish to keep. Beware that you don't trace something that you don't want. Oh, did I say that right? Beware that you trace everything you want and don't trace things you don't want. I think I did say that right. Because if you trace it, it's there. You can't get rid of it. And then you have to problem solve how to make it work. Or you redraw. And you know what? A.M. Snyder really tries not to waste paper and redraw. So I just work my mistakes in some way. Sometimes it turns out to be even better than what I originally thought or planned on doing. Alright, there is our adorable butterfly flying around. And then we're going to take our eraser and erase all the pencil lines. I always recommend a white eraser, and then you spread your fingers out and hold the paper firmly down so that it doesn't wrinkle up on you. Now, every time I say that in a video, it ends up wrinkling up. So let's see if I'm going to manage to get through this without it wrinkling up. If you don't have a white eraser, a pink eraser is fine. You just need to be very careful that it doesn't do a lot of smudging. And another tip is to have a wide paintbrush or a drafter's brush. I had a lot of printmaking in my background, so I used drafter brush here to get rid of the eraser. It's not originally supposed to do that. It works for that though. Even a dustpan brush would work for this. And then you can scoop all that eraser dust or residue shavings into a nice pile and scoop them up in your hand and put them in the trash so that they don't go on the floor. Okay, there is our beautiful butterfly, asymmetrical, not exactly the same on both sides, like the typical butterflies we usually draw. And I didn't add any background to it or color it in this particular section of the video, but you can see here that you could add interesting backgrounds to them and then color it in or paint it in depending on the thickness of your paper. This is regular computer printer paper, so it would not be wise for me to use paint on here, especially watercolor, because it's too thin. You can use markers, but you want to be careful that you don't make it too wet because you put a hole in it. You don't want to put a hole in your artwork. Now, if you are interested in how I did the background or how I colored it, you may want to check out my video series on how to draw a series of different kinds of creepy bugs. Buggy bugs, yeah. A.M. Snyder's not a big fan of buggy bugs. That whole buzzing sound, or those big bumblebees that zoom around. All kinds of creatures in my yard. And I'm sure you've encountered your share of busy buggy bugs too. If you're interested in how to draw some more bugs, please check out my series of how to draw bugs, and check it out on my website at SnyderSunshineArtStudio.com. And I will see you in another video.